JP contains the opinions and views of Jordan Productions, and therefore does not represent anybody else but him.
Well, that was quite eventful.
By eventful, did you mean terrifying?
You're right. It was eventfully terrifying.
I don't think that's even a word. That's true, and I do appreciate you two coming along and helping me.
Attention passengers, due to unforeseen circumstances, this train heading towards apartment block A has been delayed. Please stay seated as we work to fix the issue.
Huh. It looks like we're going to be stuck here for a while. Any ideas on how to pass the time?
Yeah, I have one. In the iPolis, there lived an organic camera named Bob 18. It was created to be the eyes and ears of a special person. But one day, it found out what they were doing and destroyed them all. The end.
That was, interesting, Bob 18. Anyway, Zwolf, did you want to share any stories? Are you sure? Alright, well, since we're on a train, why not tell a story about the only other time I've been on one?
Wait, you've only been on a train once before this? How do you even live?
Well, I say once because I mean a train in the traditional sense, going from one station to another. Pennsylvania Station in New York City to Union Station in Washington, D.C. In 2015, my dad and I visited both locations for a sort of rite of passage kind of trip. We decided that the best way to travel was by train, so we booked tickets for an Amtrak Excelia Express. When we arrived at Pennsylvania Station a couple hours before we were scheduled aboard, one of the first things I noticed was how ugly the station looked. Seriously, I don't want to get into a huge tangent about this.
Which would be a great way for us to fall asleep. What?
But it seriously lacked anything interesting in terms of characteristics or charm. The only interesting thing I can honestly say about it is the color-changing escalators. That's about it. We waited in the pre-boarding area because we had special tickets that allowed us to, I think, board early and have people help us with our luggage. While we were waiting what seemed like an eternity, I remember having this fear in the back of my mind that they would call our names while my dad was going to the restroom or something. I would then have absolutely no idea how to handle that situation. I have Asperger's syndrome, which, among many other things, makes me socially awkward around other people. I have developed better strategies over the years, but I still struggle resolving conflicts or situations. Thankfully, that didn't happen in that particular scenario, but my disability did apply to another situation. When we boarded the train, we were basically allowed to sit wherever we liked. I decided to sit in a car with tables and stuff like that. I sat there looking at my phone while my dad went off to do something, and then this large horse sits right next to me.
And then you told him off?
No. Quite opposite, actually. I had no idea how to respond to this sort of situation. I was just sitting there quietly thinking to myself, okay, what the heck do I do? Oh my gosh, what do I say? Oh my gosh, Thankfully, my dad came back from what he was doing and politely told the man that he would like to sit next to his son, and that there were plenty of other empty tables around. And his response was so nasty and rude that my dad decided to just move to the next car just to avoid him. Not really, because we ended up finding nice seats in the next car, and I was able to get a window seat to see all the surroundings as the train flew by. An hour or so into the journey, I wanted a little something to eat, so I went to the next car. And let me tell you, what I saw was weird as heck.
Like aliens secretly controlling the government weird?
Bob 18, what is up with you lately?
Hey, it's not my fault I ate Olive's Wolf's jelly beans in her purse. Continue, please.
Speaking of jelly beans, the weird thing was actually food being served in a car that looked like a restaurant, complete with bar stools and a counter where they made the food. It was really weird for someone who thinks of trains as just seating and stuff. After standing there for a few minutes puzzled, I ended up ordering a little mini pizza. I took it back to the car and started eating it and, well, let's just be generous and say it wasn't the best pizza I ever had. Oh well, what do you expect from pizza that's made on a train car like that?
So, what happened when you arrived at Union Station?
We arrived at Union Station late into the night, and I presume we were some of the last trains for the day because the only people there were exiting passengers and a police officer and his canine. While where the trains depart and arrive wasn't anything special, inside was a completely different experience from Pennsylvania Station. It was large, elegant, and really welcomed you into this political heart of America. I wish we could have stayed longer to explore it, but we had more important things to do. Well, I think that might be a story for another day.
Attention passengers, circumstances have prevented this train from moving into the Apartment A station, so we will instead move to the nearby Shopping Plaza Mall station. Please enjoy a complimentary $55,000 as compensation. We once again apologize for the inconvenience and hope you have a pleasant stay.
Yeah, that does seem a little strange.
You're overthinking it. Plus $55,000 could buy you something really nice here.
Well, we got time to kill then, so we might as well go in, right? They did give us that compensation. Maybe we can find something useful for the show, like camera equipment.
Target has entered area. Repeat, target has entered area. Excellent. Wait for further instructions. They'll never be the same once they reach the end